Welcome to class, everyone. I'm Teacher Lisa, your ESL video instructor. Today we're going to talk about linking and blending. Linking and blending are two features in natural sounding American English pronunciation. We'll talk about exactly what it is, and I'll give you some examples and the importance of recognizing sounds that are linked and blended. So let's go right to the chalkboard. So what exactly is linking? It happens when a word ends in a consonant and the next word starts with a vowel. So those two sounds are linked together. So what's happening when we link? What does it sound like? Well, instead of a strict pause between the two words, the sounds are connected smoothly. So we see this very common in phrasal verbs such as pick up or get over. And remember, what is a phrasal verb? We have a verb with an adverb or preposition. I usually say with a tiny little word, and it creates a meaning that is different than the individual words. So it's a whole new meaning than the original verb. So pick up, like I'm going to pick up my friend from the airport. It has nothing to do with me literally picking anything up. So we often will link phrasal verbs, which means it almost sounds like one word. So instead of pick up and get over, you will hear natives say them together or link them. Pick up, pick up, pick up, get over, get over, get over. And noun phrases, instead of red apple, red apple, red apple. So you hear red apple instead of red and apple separately, and you think it's a new word that you're hearing. What's red apple? Red apple. So we tend to link words, and you can start to see how this can cause difficulty if you need more training in your listening. So here's another example of linking. Let's go out. So we will say each word, but when we link it, it sounds like let's go out, let's go out, let's go out. So we don't have a strict pause in between those words. So the T sound connects to the O sound. So that's why it sounds like let's go out, let's go out, instead of let's go out. Of course, you see why when I teach, I do not link and blend my words. So let's get into blending. So what is blending? Blending is very similar to linking, but it's when you have two words and the sounds are merged together slightly. So very similar to linking. And I just mentioned that I don't link or blend words when I teach. Why? So you as an English learner can hear each word individually. Of course, as a native English speaker, I might sometimes do it naturally, but I'm more conscious not to do it so you can hear each individual word. So blending involves consonants at the end of one word and the beginning of the next. So that's where you'll see blending. And the two sounds are merged slightly. And I'll give you some examples of that. There aren't strict grammar rules, but it's common with certain sound combinations. So the fact that I just said to you they're not strict grammar rules tells you what? You're not going to waste time trying to memorize grammar rules. You learn linking and blending through listening, hearing it, and understanding, oh, okay, that word doesn't exist. It sounds like they're saying red apple, but they're actually meaning red apple. So you have to train your ear to listen to sounds that are linked and blended together. So listening is one of the best ways, listening to natives. TV shows, podcasts, audiobooks, but you want more naturally sounding people speaking. So AI doesn't do a great job at this point. So I always tell students right now, don't rely on AI because it just can't do certain things that a naturally sounding native speaker would say or would sound like. So here's an example of blending. So if I don't blend, I would say each word, can you help me? But if we blend the sounds, in this case, the N and the Y, between the can and the U, we will say, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And so you really have to listen for the can you in that question. So just some additional points. Just remember linking and blending are more common in faster speech. There isn't always a single correct way to link or blend sounds. It can vary by region and speaker. That's why I told you earlier there's not a list of grammar rules that you can read. You have to learn this by listening. And again, there is not a standard way to link or blend sounds. Speakers all have a different way of putting sounds together, and even by region. What we mean by that is somebody from New York might have a different way of speaking. Some people call it a New York accent. I spent a lot of my time in New York. I don't particularly have a New York accent. I have more of a neutral accent, but there are people from certain parts of New York that speak a certain way, that link and blend their words differently than somebody who lives in Texas, for example, or Georgia. They might have what we call a Southern accent or a Texan accent. It's because of how they link and blend words, in addition to pronunciation that varies also, but by region. So it just means there's no standard way to link and blend. Just some final thoughts here. It's not about completely changing the sounds of words, but creating a smooth flow. It's about the flow of the English language. So I don't want you after this video to go out and say, okay, I need to link and blend my words to sound more native-like. No, because it happens more naturally as you gain confidence in the language, as you increase your level of English, you'll start to do it more naturally. And as you start to speak the language a little bit faster, because remember, linking and blending, we do that when we speak a little bit faster. But what I do want you to do after this video is listen, listen, listen. Recognize when words, two or more words, are linked and blended so that you recognize, okay, the speaker is not creating a new word, but it sounds like a new word because they've linked and blended the sounds. So that just comes with training the ear and hearing native speakers talk. So you need to listen, listen, listen to native speakers. And eventually you won't say anymore, oh, they're speaking too fast. I just don't understand when natives speak, because of this linking and blending. So listen, listen, listen to native speakers. And when you listen, listen with a purpose. You might listen and say, okay, I'm going to see if they link and blend it. Did I understand everything? Did I not understand something? Because there's a lot of linking and blending going on. So that's what I want you to do with this video. See you in the next one.